Hello class, how are you all? Class, today I'm with you with another topic, chapter number 6, lesson number 1. And the chapter title is The Particle Model of Matter. The picture is showing you, or I have chosen this picture and I've tried to show you the particles in solid form, the particles in liquid form, and the particles in the gaseous state. So here we begin. Let us have a look on the history. You know, the very ancient Greek philosopher Democritus has given very important hypothesis which explain the composition of matter. Democritus hypothesized that all matter is made up of tiny, discrete particles too small to be seen. Tiny means, he said, the particles which are making up the matter are very, very, very small. Discrete means they are separate, they are individual. Particulate nature means all of them are particles and they cannot be seen. And these individual particles he used were called as atoms. He selected this word from Greek, and atomos means indivisible. So this hypothesis is explaining us that matter or the universe or the earth is made up of tiny, discrete, indivisible particles called atoms. Next, another very remarkable name in philosophy is Aristotle. Aristotle hypothesized that matter has continuous composition, which can always be broken down into much smaller and smaller pieces. He also gave the concept of the composition of earth as 4 main elements: fire, air, water, and earth. But what he explained us about the matter was not so clear. So after knowing this, that matter is composed of indivisible particles called atoms, further we study what is called as Brownian motion, how they behave, how they move. So you see in this picture, the particles are, 2 different size particles are present. And in this picture, we can see that each particle is individual, discrete, and moving in its own direction. Means none of the particle is dependent on each other's direction. The particles are moving in different directions. This concept was given by a Scottish botanist, Robert Brown. Robert Brown used a microscope to observe pollen grains in water. And what he found that pollen grains were moving haphazardly in different directions. And this movement he called as Brownian motion. So when we see the particles are moving, they are moving in different directions. And in which direction it will go is independent of its previous direction. And this movement he called as Brownian motion. Now Albert Einstein also studied the motion of pollens, and he explained that the Brownian motion is not only due to the movement of pollens in the water, but this movement is due to the movement of particles of water as well. So as if this pollen grain is moving from here to here, then this pollen has to be going here, there, and coming, after all it's coming to this direction. So this is not the movement of the pollen only, this is in fact the movement of these tiny blue color water molecules. So the Brownian motion was not only the motion of pollen grains, but it is the motion of all the particles which are moving around us. So here you see what matter is made up of and how it moves around us. This was today's class. You just read the topics well from your textbook so that we will continue with the next topic tomorrow. Take care, class.